Hello everyone and welcome! In this week's Sims 4 speed build, we are going to be taking a little bit of a break from our tiny home series because I felt like it was about time that we built something on the slightly larger side of things. So today we are building a luxury New York City boutique hotel and spa. This is on a 40 by 30 lot. We are currently here in SimSationalToo, which I do have to say we will be switching worlds in a little bit. I was having issues with lighting and the buildings wanted to make the camera go crazy, the buildings that are surrounding this one. So this is where I intended it to be, but for your viewing pleasure, I moved it to Newcrest. Although I do have to say it looks really nice in Newcrest, and I might keep it there. But I also know you're probably like, hotels? We don't have hotels in The Sims 4. I know, we don't, but I am still incredibly hopeful that someday soon that maybe we'll get a hotel resort pack for The Sims 4. I really enjoyed building resorts and running resorts in The Sims 3. It was so much fun. I would probably get back into gameplay in The Sims 4 more so if that came back. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I think I like the challenge and having goals to try to meet. It was just super fun. So if we end up getting a hotels and resorts expansion for The Sims 4, I got you covered. But this building, obviously, it will not function as a hotel, but it functions as so many other things. I will talk about all those things. So obviously, you can have this as a residential lot because, you know what? In real life, people live at hotels, so why not give that life to your Sims? You can use this as a rental lot. I will say, I haven't checked the price of the rental. I know it'll be super expensive because I think this lot is like over 800,000 simoleons. But hey, you know what? It's luxury, so you gotta expect to pay a lot to stay at a luxury hotel. And then obviously, like I said, this is a spa. So as you come in the main doors of this place, you're welcomed by a large 2-story lobby. And on the first floor, you will find the very nice spa, because what luxury New York hotel doesn't have its own spa? Come on, right? So yeah, the spa is on the first floor. Also on the first floor, you will find a very luxurious high-end restaurant. Everything is here to make this lot function as a restaurant if you so desire. If you go up to the 3rd floor, I should probably say also, if you didn't notice, this is 4 stories tall. It's only on the 40 by 30 lot, but this place it really is huge. So if you take the elevators to the 3rd floor, you will find a very luxurious as well. Everything's luxurious here because, yeah. You have a very luxurious, nice cafe. You have everything you need to run a cafe here. And then finally, when you go up to the 4th story, you will find a very swanky lounge and bar. You can run this lot as either of those. I ended up adding in a piano in there later because I'm like, oh yeah, I want this to be a lounge, and there's a microphone. And besides that very nice lounge on the interior part, there's also attached to the lounge a terrace. So on those warm summer nights, your Sims can enjoy a drink out on the terrace and take in the views of the city. That's where I want to go. Also though, not done yet. On the 4th floor, there is also a pool. You can run this lot as a community pool if you would like. I know that's probably not the most desirable lot to choose, but hey, you know what? If you want your game to be extra and super luxurious and you want nothing but the best for your Sims, then this might be the community pool that's right for you. Phew, so yeah, that was the huge long list of everything that you can convert this into. I will have all those things in the description. This is going to be up on the gallery as a spa, but like I said, go ahead and feel free to change it over to whatever you want. I don't play the game really that much, but you do also have the possibility, if yes, you want to play with this as a spa for a while and you're like, bored with that, you can change it over to the restaurant or change it over to the lounge or whatever you want. I kind of like that idea. It's totally up to you. But yeah, right now, so you saw we were previously in the lobby and getting that nice luxurious setup of like the lounge area. Maybe you're waiting for someone to meet you at the hotel, or you're waiting to get picked up by a cab. We are now on to the very nice restaurant here. Yeah, okay, so when I first wanted to build this hotel, I had something very different in my mind, and I was almost kind of wanting to do like more contemporary, and I ended up doing like this very like over the top luxurious hotel instead. I don't know, that's just what it turned into. I have actually had a lot of inspiration lately of like big cities, and I think that's also why I ended up building this. My husband and I were actually not very long ago, we stayed at a boutique hotel in our area, which, I mean, it was nothing like this. Nothing like this. So that one was more of like contemporary, but I'd say like the interior was more of like a modernized Art Deco, which I love. So yeah, that hotel is like, it was really nice. So I had like the inspiration from already being in a boutique hotel. And then we were a while back, we visited family out on the East Coast. And for the first time in my life, I was able to visit Washington, D.C. And then recently I was in Chicago. So I've been like exposed to all these big cities. For those of you that are here on a regular basis, you know I am not a city girl. But I do have to say it's growing on me a little bit. The more I go to the city, the more I start to appreciate things. I will still never want to move to the city or live in the city, but I'm actually getting okay with visiting more frequently because I guess I'm starting to have appreciation for things. Obviously, like I love architecture. So in these big cities, there's always great architecture. There's a lot of history because these are established big cities. And then the infrastructure and everything of just how the city is able to function and run really blows my mind. It's just, I don't know, when we were in Chicago, I was just staring at is it the L train, the electric train? For those of you that live in the area, you might have to correct me. I think it's the L train. And just thinking about those trains coming and going, and I just watching them go by. So the gates came down for the train to go through, and I thought it was going to be like just one way, but in both directions the train was going like at the exact same time for those gates and the lights to go down, and I'm just like, wow, it is timed that great to where they have it that good. I'm very impressed. So I don't know, just like little things like that, I'm really starting to appreciate. I've been to Chicago many, many times, and I think what I don't like about Chicago, I mean, this is any big city, is there's so many people in a small, crowded space and the traffic. It was the same thing in DC. I mean, I felt like it was less crowded, but then again, it depends where you are in Chicago. But the traffic was, yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. I think there was some event going on, and it was horrible. It was worse than Chicago. But yeah, DC was super cool. So as we were leaving DC, I was already like, when can we come back? Like, I didn't get it that much of a chance to explore. We only went for the day, and we went to Library of Congress, which was absolutely amazing. Like, I barely have any words to describe. Like, if you ever have the chance to go there, if you haven't been there and you like architecture, go. It is mind-blowing. I'll put some pictures up on the screen so you can kind of see some of this stuff, but the architecture, the design, I mean, even just in the carvings of like marble carvings and paintings on the ceiling, it's just, yeah, see, I don't have the words. It was just amazing. So that was super cool. And then they had an exhibit there that was photography of like through the ages and history of photography. Really interesting. I didn't have the time to read and go through everything, but what I did go through was really cool. So I think that's one of the exhibits that kind of like change up over time. And it is free to go there, which is really cool too. So it's always nice to have some options that you don't have to spend money on. But yeah, highly recommend that. Super, super cool. And then before we got to DC, and this is probably also why we didn't have as much time in DC, we had stopped in Alexandria, Virginia. So it's like right on the border. And we were walking around in like the old town area with a ton of old townhouses, which is just, I love that stuff. That was so cool. And then we came across, I think it's the narrowest house in the United States. And I'll put a picture up on the screen of that. I don't think I could live there. Like, I don't think I could lay all the way back and put my arms out. No, I wouldn't. I think it's 7 feet wide. Super, super tiny. So after doing a little bit of research on that, that was really interesting. I guess it used to be an alley. And from the research that I found, the people that were living there did not like all the noise that was happening at night. I guess there would be people that would drink too much, go in the alley and hang out, be super loud, and the homeowners were very upset and not happy with that, so they decided to fill it in with a house. And now you have this super tiny, narrow house there. A true tiny home, really. I don't know what the square footage is, but obviously it's not very big. But yeah, it's just, that was pretty cool. Did not expect to see that. But then we also went to another historic home and toured that in the area. That was really cool. And learning about the restoration of the home. One of the people that was actually working there, I think she said that yes. I think she said they were from Colorado originally, and they moved to that area because they really do like history. And it is true that Colorado does not have the same history as the East Coast. There's way more stuff on the East Coast. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know if I've ever heard of someone saying that they moved because there was more history in a region, but I understand, but I don't think I've ever heard someone say that was the reason why they moved. Yeah. So yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, we didn't have a ton of time. We kind of left late, took time to get there. So yeah, we didn't have a lot of time to see stuff, which was disappointing, but the food. So we were deciding to trying to figure out where to go for lunch, and we were thinking we were going to do like Greek or Mediterranean. And then my husband came across a restaurant that was doing Persian. And so we're all like, interesting. None of us have had Persian food before. We're like, sure, let's do it. That sounds great. Oh my gosh. That was the best food I have had all year. And as we're sitting there, I'm like, how do I nominate this place for Restaurant of the Year? Because it was amazing. It tasted like it was homemade. And it was just, Have any of you had Persian food? If you haven't, I guess I would liken it reminded me a little bit of Moroccan. I'm not saying it is Moroccan, but there is like certain elements and like spices and things that reminded me of Moroccan. So if you like Moroccan food, I'd say you would like Persian. But yeah, my husband and I had like a beef dish, and it was almost kind of like a stew over rice. And I think we had saffron rice. My sister-in-law had rice with berberries in it. That was so incredibly good. It was tart with like a hint of sweetness, and I forgot what she had as her main meal. And then my in-laws had, I think, duck, and that was more like of a stew, and that was just amazing. And so then we had leftovers because it's like I wanted to try dessert. So I saw they had baklava on the menu, and I'm like, yes, please. We did not know the baklava was gonna be like this gigantic portion, because we had ordered 2 portions, and I think it was like 3 huge pieces, plus mascarpone ice cream, which was, oh my gosh. We found out that I think we can buy that in the store. I thought they made it there at the restaurant, and it turned out I think that it's like a store-bought. So I still have to try to find that stuff because it was so good. But yeah, the baklava, oh my gosh. So the baklava, I don't know. So there's different areas that do baklava. So Greek, maybe you've had the Greek baklava. This is not the same. This was, it's hard to describe. There was way more pistachios. There was still like a good amount of honey, but not overpowering. And it was incredibly like flaky pastry, and it reminded me of, we had in the past a Egyptian baklava, and I'd say it was very close to that, except this was just like, it was amazing. It was so good. This might be the best baklava I've ever had in my life. I've had some really good baklava too. I don't know. I don't have baklava often. It's kind of hard to find it. And then when you do find it, it's not the same as like when someone makes it from scratch. So I don't know. I'd have to like compare things. But yeah, some of the best baklava I've ever had in my life. It was amazing. If I remember the name of this restaurant, if I can figure out where it is, I'll also link it down below, because if you are in DC and if you're a foodie like me, you're adventurous with food, go to this place. So good. You will not regret it. Amazing. I'd go back just for the food. Anyways, enough talking about food and making everyone hungry, including myself. So the hotel, I gotta talk a little bit about this. So this took a really long time to build, I will say that. I mean, obviously it is huge. I think there are 6 hotel rooms, which most of them are like pretty similar, but because of like the different proportions of the rooms, I was able to copy and paste some, but then others I had to go and just like do all from scratch. So they're all like basically similar, same kind of furniture, slightly different color schemes, and then I use different no CC artwork in the rooms. Yeah, so you'll see artwork in this build. All of this is no CC artwork. All of that will be listed down below. All the creators will be listed down below. But otherwise, like when you download this lot, all that stuff comes with it. But yes, a big, huge thanks to all these creators that are making these amazing no CC artwork pieces. Thank you so much, because it really adds a whole lot more to the builds like this. I get very tired of the wall art that we have in The Sims 4. We could use some more. We always need more. I don't know what it is. We need more variety. So this is my way of getting more variety. So yes, thank you to all of you that have made this for us. With that being said, we're already getting towards the end of this video. So thank you so much for hanging out with us again this week. We really appreciate all of you. Don't forget to stick around for our video and picture tour that will follow this. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like and let us know in the comments below. Have you ever stayed in a boutique hotel before? With that being said, once again, thanks so much for being here, everyone, and we will see you in our next video. Bye!